when people come to resorts and hotels and people have disposable income.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I know Trump.
Yeah.
He went to Kim Jong-un.
You lucky butter ain't not hungry.
And people said he cried.
Oh, you lucky butter ain't not hungry.
And Trump showed him a DVD graphic.
You almost
South
fucked
Korea,
yourself,
the
buddy.
most successful per capita country in the world. Per capita, South Korea is the most successful in the world. He said, you're the same people. He showed him a DVD computer program of hotels, golf courses, and casinos and said within 10 years, we will free all your people. You'll be making $100 million a year. And Kim Jong-un said he cried and said, China runs me. And Trump said, I know.
Next time that fucking mouse comes around, I'm
Trump
telling
does
you.
not like war.
Next time that mouse comes around, that thing's
He
fucked.
wants golf courses and hotels and casinos. He wants the good times, folks. So that's why the globalists don't want Trump, because they're like, you naive son of a bitch. This is about power. We don't want casinos. We don't want hotels. We don't want golf courses. We don't like you banging on hookers. You suck. And Trump's
Got
like,
him.
I love everybody. So here's the deal. They're coming after Trump. The fact that they
Good camera angle, too.
kill him means they're going to escalate this. And I personally, I believe this. I don't talk about inside baseball. Personally, got the message of Trump this morning. And I said, if you go to Milwaukee, there might be a truck phone. And
It's gonna be you,
said,
Jet, when I
"Be a
find
pussy."
you.
He's going to Milwaukee.
Jet, it's gonna be you when I find your ass.
Incredible
Slipping.
fortitude. He's got fortitude. But I'm just saying, it's not a pussy to like back off right now.
No.
He's going to win us.
There needs to be security measures there for sure. Do we know anything about this shooter other than the fact that he was a kid that lived in Pennsylvania and was in a BlackRock commercial that they filmed at his high school, which is true?
Jim, let me be 1,000% clear.
I've never been in a BlackRock commercial. Sorry.
I'm playing slide over
Yeah,
here.
it's okay. Yes, sir.
I want to be completely clear here. We don't need to ask about him or anything about him because none of that's real.
Okay.
The Secret Service does one thing. They protect the president, and the default of the Secret Service is to cover the rooftops a half mile out. This wasn't 1,000 yards. It wasn't 3,000 yards out. This was 450 feet from the president, and someone told them, don't put people on the roof when Trump gives a speech. There's no debate. They stood down. They were ordered to do it, guaranteed by the Biden administration. So, that's what's happening right now. And if you think they tried to kill him yesterday and shot him through the ear, like perfect hole right in the ear, if you think they aren't going to go for broke now, well, this is like Super Mario Brothers, you eat the mushroom and you're invincible.
Do you think the people in his organization get it? The things that you are saying that you believe and that you are talking about here tonight, do the people in his organization share those views? Do they understand what they're up against, in your estimation?
Yeah, here's the thing about Trump. I've done a psychological study of it. I forget the top guy in the 60s and 70s that made records about self-help and believing it's going to happen. It's an Oprah Winfrey, The Secret. Trump listened to that record like 500 times or more. And I've literally told Trump, and I've told his people, you've got to back off. You've already won, you've got to stop. And Trump said, screw you, I'm not a pussy. If they want to. So the problem is his people have already told him. And Trump is such a maniac, which he's probably right. He believes if he just goes out there, he'll be on the road more. He doesn't care. And so that's Trump. He believes he is invincible, and he doesn't care. And now that he just got raised and died, he's a maniac. And that's why, let me tell you something. Trump's not perfect. He made mistakes. He did stuff I didn't like. Now instead of get curry with liberals and make them, oh, you're not, no. I disagree with Trump on a lot of stuff. Warp speed, all they got roped into it. I know him well. When I got married 8 years ago to my wife, my second wife, he called her for 10 minutes, told her how great I was. You know, he was like, he called me on my birthday. He still calls me, you know, just like the guy is such a team. And it's all the loyalty. And his issue is that he thinks he's invincible.
I'll tell you
And maybe he
this.
is.
I know some people that know him, and they know him well, and they all love him. They all like him. They have said to me, and you will probably agree, that there are people in his circle, whether it's the inner circle or the outer circle or whichever circle it is, that they do not trust.
Oh, he 100%. The biggest threat to Trump is the poisoning his food. And that's why Trump's a great guy, okay? He's a nice guy. He's always a big temper. He takes care of everybody. He has a soft spot for black people. I'm about to say that. It's well known. They're like, buy their mortgage, randomly give them a double their pay because they're the whole black people. Bring the black people. It's just well known for his crew. Because they're his crew. Other businessmen, he wants to battle them. But I was going to say something. What was your point about Trump?
I would just say there's people in his circle that I've been told that from people that know him and like him and know a little bit about his circle, they believe that there are people in there that are not trustworthy.
No, 100%. And so that's his biggest failure. Kushner, horrible, little double agent, horrible person, and his loyalty. That's why the chief of staff, General Kelly at the time, 5 years ago, looked it up, said General Kelly's main job was keeping Trump away from all shots. Because back then I was talking to him every 2 days. And I was like, hey, you know Fiona Hill's Bilderberg. You know Fiona Hill, you know this guy is George Soros Foundation. He goes, no, send that to me. So I would have law firms. And I've been talking a lot about this. I don't know what's all other stories. I'm not trying to brag and sound powerful, folks. They all knew. No one would tell them. So I had law firms. I had Baker Hostetler, which is the biggest Republican law firm. I know he'd pay attention to that. He'd say, give me a report on that. Like when Elon Musk 6 months ago said, give me a report on the PR firms that are going to send hooked on you. And so Trump would say, give me a report. So I would go pay $50,000 per bill. And I would have, like, the deputy head of the FCC, you name it, write a memo to him about, here's the legislation, here's how they're doing it, here's the people in your administration. And when I did that, the CIA went apeshit. And literally had me followed home. They threatened my family. They completely came after me, which is fine. I'm not worried about it. But I don't say this to like act cool, Tim. This is what happened. So it wasn't that he didn't have people around him that knew what was going on. They were scared to tell him. I knew how to use Google. And I'm like, okay, well, who is General McMaster? Who is Fiona Hill? Who is... And I would send him reports, hundreds of thousands of dollars a month, with law firms. And you know what happened? They called me up to D.C. They said, we want to meet with you about Trump.
Well,
So
then.
He